Victoria Woodhull, and why did the suffragettes write her out of history? And what would you have done in their shoes? Victoria was a Midwestern woman who came onto the scene somewhat mysteriously in the late 1860s. She began as a complete outsider, and before anyone could blink, had opened the very first female-run brokerage firm on Wall Street, and declared her run for the presidency. She also funded her own feminist newspaper, which supported legalized prostitution, communism, and dress reform. Now, despite this boldness, the leading suffragettes of the day, such as Katie Elizabeth Stanton and Susan B. Anthony, initially embraced Victoria because, well, she was kind of funding their cause. However, her independent wealth highlighted the inequity of women having to pay the exact same taxes as men while having no voice in the government, an argument that financially dependent housewives could only make in theory. But things went south when the press got hold of the fact that Victoria lived with both her first and second husband in the same house. And instead of backpedaling, Victoria took the opportunity to declare what she really cared about: free love, which in modern terms basically means she was in an open marriage with her second husband, who she may or may not have been actually legally married to. Victoria believed that women's equality began in the bedroom, not the voting booth, and unless women demanded equal pleasure behind closed doors, men would never take them seriously. Suddenly, Victoria's many rumored affairs, which the suffragettes had been saying were not true, definitely seemed like they could be true, and rumors started circulating that she actually earned her money as a sex worker. Additionally, Victoria came out as a spiritualist and psychic medium, saying these views weren't even hers, they came from the spirit world. She said they told her that a healthy sex life wasn't just good for the soul, it was good for the body, and with perfect use could result in physical immortality. Needless to say, this was something the suffragettes were not equipped to handle. And if that wasn't enough, oh, there's more. Victoria went on to expose the most famous preacher of the day as a serial adulterer, as well as men she knew from Wall Street and spent the better half of a year in jail on obscenity charges for printing the exposés in her paper. So basically, even though Victoria had been initially extremely wealthy and an extreme supporter of women's rights, the suffragists dropped her like a hot potato, thinking that any association with her would completely derail the movement. And now she's only a footnote in suffragette history as the first woman to address Congress and the first woman to run for the U.S. presidency. So what do you think? Did the suffragists make the right call in disassociating from Victoria? Or do you think they should have stood by her? What would you have done in their shoes? And if you're thinking, wow, Natalie, Victoria would make the most amazing character in a musical about history's most slut-shamed women, I agree. And that is why she is featured in this musical I've written on this topic. And I'm going to be debuting the first live performance of her song this Sunday right here on this channel. So if you'd like to see Victoria in action, make sure you follow so you don't miss it.